It's time to duel, everyone, and today for you guys, we are going to be profiling a deck that apparently nobody plays. As you can see by the playmat, we are going to be playing my Egyptian God deck. So, why does no one play Egyptian Gods in 2019, or in the past for that matter? I'll tell you why. They straight up suck. Besides the giant chicken egg that you can summon on your opponent's turn and crack boards with. But yes, they suck. This deck is a fun deck. I want to get that out there first and foremost. This is a fun deck. And this deck is a deck that you can take to locals, have fun with your buddies, do pretty good, win a couple games, get a good laugh that you're summoning Egyptian gods in 2019, and things of that nature. And that's the reason why nobody plays Egyptian gods. And by the way, if Doug is watching this video, love you, Doug. Not trying to make you upset, but yes, I play Egyptian gods in 2019. For fun. For casual fun. Well, let's get into the deck profile. So, 1 Obelisk the Tormentor, 1 Slifer the Sky Dragon, Dos Winged Dragon of Ra. Now, the reason why we run this ratio is because we use Ra for OTKs, which I'm going to talk about a little bit more. Obelisk the Tormentor is by far the best Egyptian god, quote unquote. And Slifer the Sky Dragon is pretty good, actually. He's I actually was testing against this. I was playing one of my one of my decks I randomly had, and I couldn't summon monsters. They kept getting destroyed because of Slifer's effect. So technically, I got Slifer locked, if that's a thing. Yeah, that happened to me. So Slifer is actually pretty decent in some regards. But we also run 2 Sphere mode to work with the Winged Dragon of Ra, and 1 the Immortal Phoenix as well. Now, if you guys are wondering why we run this ratio here, like I said, Sphere mode works with the Winged Dragon of Ra. And the best way to bring out the Winged Dragon of Ra is not to tribute for Winged Dragon of Ra necessarily, even though you can do that. Is to actually go Sphere mode and then bring out Winged Dragon of Ra, because they'll be at 4,000 attack, and then you will still have life points that you can use Winged Dragon of Ra's effect. Sphere mode, Immortal Phoenix is just something that you can run in the deck if you want to, quote unquote. It's not something that is completely, utterly necessary to run in the deck. It's something that I've been just, you know, trying out, playing around with, but it's just a one-of in the deck. And like I said, Slifer is pretty decent. Now, if you wanted to change this deck up to use a certain Egyptian god, which would probably be the correct way of doing it, I would run 2 Sphere mode, 1 Immortal Phoenix, 3 Ra, 1 Obelisk. Or if you want to run Obelisk, you run 3 Obelisk and maybe Slifer or 1 Winged Dragon of Ra. It's up to you. If you want Slifer variation, you could definitely run 3 Slifer and 1 Obelisk. That's the variations I've tested out for years now whenever I'm making this deck. But this version works fairly well compared to past versions. So yeah, let's continue on with the deck profile. And that's because we're running a different engine, an old engine that used to be used for the Obelisk build. So back in the day, if you guys are not familiar with, people did run Obelisk the Tormentor with frogs, and I've been trying different things out, but this is pretty much Frog Nimble deck. So Egyptian God Frog Nimble deck. That's what this deck is, if that makes any sense. You use the Nimble Engine as well. So the Nimble Engine is able to get a lot of tribute fodder out, as well as the Frog Engine. And in that combination, it helps you go for things like, for example, you can go for your different Exceed monsters like Cat Shark. Totally awesome. So technically, you could call this deck profile a totally awesome Egyptian God deck. This is a totally awesome Egyptian God deck. I mean, I'm running totally awesome and Egyptian gods. What do you expect? It's a totally awesome deck profile. Yeah, totally awesome Egyptian God deck profile. Yeah, I said it. You can all shake your heads at me now. So yes, jokes aside, 3 swap, double rodent, 1 dupe. I've tried this ratio out. About a week ago, we tried this out at locals, and we found that this ratio worked out the best. We were actually tried this ratio out, loved it, great ratios. So definitely 3 swap, double Rodin, and 1 dupe. So yeah, that's the ratio I like of the Frog Engine. Helps you go for totally awesome, use it for tribute fodder, whatever have you. For the Nimble Engine, we run 3 Nimble Sunfish. Definitely staple 3 of in the deck. We also run 3 Nimble Angler, which is really useful. This guy right here really sets up for your tribute fodder for your Egyptian gods. So if you pitch it with, if you pitch it with Swap Frog, you'll get 2 Nimbles, and then depending upon your situation, you can usually go for an Egyptian god that turn if you have card advance, which is one of your main ways that you can normal summon, get a whole bunch of tribute fodder out, activate card advance if you guys don't know what that is. In addition to your normal summon, you can conduct as tribute summon that turn, so you can activate card advance, stack your deck, tribute for an Egyptian god, and maybe even go for a totally awesome as well that turn, depending upon the situation. So definitely, there's some crazy plays you can do in the deck once you start playing around with it. But 3 Nimble Sunfish, 3 Nimble Angler. When Sunfish is destroyed by battle, you get to bring out 2 fish monsters, Nimble Fish monsters from your deck. So that works very well. You can bring him out. There's just plays upon plays upon plays of different things you can do. Next, we run 3 Nimble Beaver. This helps you go for level 2 plays, sets up your different kinds of boards you can do, but definitely 3 Nimble Beaver. We also run the last Nimble Monster, which is 3 Nimble Manta. So this guy's, I would say Nimble Manta is the worst out of all the Nimble monsters, but you definitely want to run him because he's a fish target. But yes, 3 Nimble Beaver allows you to go for rank 2 exceed plays, link plays. This thing can easily go for, like, you can go for Cerberus or Phoenix or things of that nature. Nimble Manta, pretty good card on its own as well. To trigger because he's a fish level 2 water. We also run 1 Plague Spreader Zombie. Debatable if you want to run this or not. We've been trying out. I've been even trying out some level 4 exceed plays in the deck, but there's not a lot of good. Like, there's Armory Arm, and that's the best one I could think of when I was like. And then I tried out some other ones as well, like Underworld Belmont, I think it is, or Barmont. I can't pronounce it. But I've tried different level 4s just to try it out, because if you have like a Plague Engrave, you can bring this out, go for a level 4 play. But you know, Armory Arm is going to be your best play. You can equip Armory Arm maybe to an Egyptian god if you wanted to, but there's different little things you have to try out, and you have to find space in your extra deck. So there's different things you can do, but there's a lot of potential, I would say, with Plague Spreader definitely in the deck. When we were rebuilding the deck with me and a couple buddies, we were talking about, like, well, maybe it's not good in the deck, and then we started seeing all the possibilities you could do with it, and we eventually said this stays in the deck because it's so versatile in the different things it can do. Next, we run 3 Card Advance. This is literally your heart and soul of the deck, along with True Name. Like, this is your heart and soul of the deck right here. Sphere Mode, I mean, can get over boards. Like I said, you contribute Sphere Mode off on your turn, and all these different things you can do with the gods. But to make this deck run, to make it tick, these cards right here are essential to the different combo plays you're going to be doing. Because if you find yourself a lot of times like, oh, I can easily get 3 tributes on the board by going, you know, swap frog, dump something, bring out 2 other frogs, 2 other, pitch a nimble, bring other two other nimbles out to the field, and then go off from there. You can find that happen a lot of times. But if you have Card Advance, that turns into a completely different ballpark. And if you have True Name, that turns into an amazing ballpark because you can stack your deck. So the cool thing about Card Advance is I can look at the top 5 cards in my deck, arrange them in any order, okay, and then put them back on top of the deck. Then activate True Name. By activating True Name, now I can draw that card that I wanted on top of the deck, and that can be anything. So if there's a card you're like, well, yeah, I definitely would want this for maybe my extension combo play or some of that nature, you can stack it with Card Advance. Then and then draw it with True Name, and then you get to add an Egyptian God card or special summon an Egyptian God card. So usually what I'll do with True Name, depending on the situation, is I'll add Obelisk, or I'll add Sphere Mode, and then tribute off my monsters with Sphere Mode, bring out Ra, do different things, or bring out Obelisk if I don't have Mound or the Bound Creator on the field, or you can bring out Slifer if that's what you want to. But these cards right here are essential. You do not want to run 3 True Name though, because True Name is once per turn, and number 2, it can clog if you run 3 of. The reason we also run Plague Spreader Zombie is if you have Plague Engrave and you have True Name, you can set a card to the top of your deck, bring out the Plague Spreader as a tribute fodder, and then you can activate True Name to draw that card you just stacked, so you get that card back, and you get to add an Egyptian god and go for a tribute, or something of that nature. So Plague Spreader works with True Name in combination, but these cards right here are very essential to your different plays in the deck, hands down. Next up we have double Mound to the Bound Creator, double Terraforming. Now you can run triple Mound, 1 Terraforming, or double Terraforming, triple Mound, but I find that this ratio just works better of double Bound and double Terraforming. I just do. You can try Meta Reverse if you want to just surprise your opponent with Mound of the Bound Creator, but I just prefer like getting the Mound of the Bound Creator as soon as possible. So you can try different ratios out depending upon what you want to do, but this ratio right here I like, of 2 Field Spell, 2 Terraforming. But like I said, you can try different ratios if you like. This is a fun card to play around with, and it wins games, and you don't have to run it because it does take up a lot of extra deck space. So if you really did want to run Armory Arm, take this card out, you'll free up maybe 6 slots of extra deck cards, and you'll be fine. So it's like I said, you can. This is just a template of what I've been doing. Playing this deck for 3 years now, 4 years for fun, and this is what I've done. To make the deck better, and this is what you can do to take forward and improve the deck if you want to. But 1 rank up, this is really useful because you get to go for a whole bunch of crazy plays. But the reason I like running it is because you can easily stack it. So you can stack it with Card Advance. Okay, so if you have Card Advance, you activate Card Advance, you see that this is going to be one of your other cards that you're going to draw. Like you're going to draw this card maybe in a couple turns. You can, like maybe 5 turns away. Well, now you can put it so that next turn you will get rank up magic 7/1 and go off on different combo plays. Or sometimes what I've done, there's a whole bunch of different things you could do, but this is really useful. It's also useful with Plague Spreader Zombie because say that you do draw up, you draw into rank up magic the 7th one. Well, then you can use Plague Spreader's effect and stack rank up magic the 7th one on top of your deck, so that now next turn you will actually draw into rank up magic the 7th one, and you'll actually get to go off with its effect. So these cards work with this. Next up we have, let's see here, some one-ofs. We have Upstart Goblin, Foolish Burial, Monster Reborn, Soul Charge. You're not using Soul Charge and Monster Reborn necessarily to bring back Egyptian God cards. I'm just saying that. You're not using these to reborn your Egyptian gods. Okay? What you're doing is you're using Monster Reborn and Soul Charge to bring back all these dead Nimble monsters, all these dead cards that you have in graveyard. Bring them back and tribute for an Egyptian god. Because you're going to figure out very quickly this deck is going to send a whole bunch of Nimbles to graveyard, a whole bunch of Frogs to graveyard. You can just go, okay, well, yeah, I'm not going to attack this turn, but I'm going to go Soul Charge, pay 3,000, tribute for a god, go right ahead. Monster Reborn. It's another way that you can bring out a card, a combo piece, maybe a swap frog, do different plays. You can maybe bring back just that one monster that you need just for a tribute. One of my friends, actually, he was playing against another friend, and he just brought back Obelisk the Tormentor for 1 turn, killed somebody, and did enough damage with Obelisk to win. And the cool thing is with Obelisk the Tormentor is you'll have enough monsters on field to actually get to use Obelisk's effect if you really wanted to do that. So yeah, different things you can do with this deck. It's just little fun little things. But that's the main deck. No traps at all because you're mainly trying to focus on tribute fodder. On to the extra deck, we have our Dark Magician Field Center, but we have our 2 totally awesome frogs, 1 cat shark, 1 Sky Cavalry Centurion. This card is amazing. Then for your rank up magic, the 7th one, like I said, you can cut these out if you want to take rank up magic out and then use it for other cards that you would like to use. So C101, 101, You can use its effect because you'll sometimes have tribute fodder, so you can attack you know, a lot of opponents' monsters with this effect. So that's amazing. C104 and 104, Masquerade. And then you also have C101 and number 101, Solid Arc Honor Knight. So you have, these are your rank up targets right here. Like I said, you can take them out if you want to. For your Link monsters, we run a lot. Miss Starboy, Cerberus, Phoenix, and we also have Unicorn. Sometimes if you get like Plague in your hand, Plague Spreader in your hand, or Phoenix, Immortal Phoenix in your hand, mind you. So if you get Immortal Phoenix in your hand, well, you can go into Cerberus, pitch Immortal Phoenix out of your hand, and then Phoenixes in your graveyard for future plays. So you can do these things. You can, these guys set up, you know, when you draw into those cards that you do not want to draw into. And Unicorn's amazing as well. The last card I run is one Sayuja, just so you can draw a whole bunch of cards, use his effect to draw, and do a whole bunch of different combo plays. If you wanted to, you could add Boar Sword in the deck if you wanted to run instead of maybe you were taking out 107 and you want to put other cards in. Well, you can put Boar Sword, Boar Load, maybe some other Link monsters if you want to, maybe a second Mrs. Starboy if you wanted to. It's up to you, but I don't run this, but instead I run Sayuja. But you can run this if you wanted to. But yeah, that is the deck in a nutshell, guys. I thoroughly enjoy playing this deck. It is so fun to summon Egyptian gods into, you know, with this deck. Like I said, it's a fun deck. It's not supposed to be competitive. It's a fun deck, but I promise you, this deck is actually pretty decent. I really like it, and you can easily get the Egyptian gods out fairly well. It's either going to be a frog deck or it's going to be an Egyptian god frog deck. That's the way it's going to happen when you start playing with it. But I hope you guys all enjoyed this deck profile, and until next time, take care, have fun dueling, good luck dueling, and I'll see all of you guys next time. Take care, and if you enjoyed this deck profile, please leave a big thumbs up, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care.